Hello, everyone. This time I want to talk about my pregnancy with my oldest son. I have to say, it was a very difficult pregnancy. At least the first trimester, I was sick, sicker than I have ever been before in my life. When I would walk into a grocery store, I would have to really hold my breath as much as I could and get in and out as quick as possible because just the smell of the meat in the meat market, like I could smell the blood. It was such a weird thing. Got through the pregnancy, had him, and then I had postpartum. Postpartum was really difficult. It was the new identity. I actually was working the full time that I was pregnant. And then once I had him, I actually got laid off while I was on maternity leave. And I decided to stay at home from there. It was something that I actually always wanted to do is be a stay-at-home mom. It was something that my ex-husband was very supportive of. So when I got laid off, I just didn't go back to work. The thing that I did not count on was how lonely I would feel. When you're at home all day by yourself with a baby, and then your hormones are not what they used to be, your body is not what it used to be, there was a lot of adjustment period, and we were newlyweds at the same time. So there was a lot that was going on, and we moved. So I had a lot going on. I didn't have any friends in the area. All of my friends were at work during the day, so I didn't have anybody to talk to. I would talk to my mom periodically, or she would come by to check on me, but still, I had a lot of alone time, and it wasn't great. Then we had started a new church. And one of the things that was really impressive to me after I had our son was this family came over, and the wife, she had just had a baby maybe 6 weeks before my son was born, and they brought us a meal. And they sat with us and they talked with us and they prayed for us. And she and I actually got to be really good friends in the long run. That act of service and that ability or willingness to come and serve us, provide us a meal, welcome us to the church, stayed with me for a long time. And I still think about her and I smile about it. And I'm really grateful. She also pulled me into women's ministry, just asking if I wanted to come hang out with her and her family, just recognizing how difficult it can be when you're at home with kids by yourself. So I really, really appreciated her for doing that for us. I'll say that was the first time that I had known about bringing meals to people. I hadn't had any friends that had kids, so I didn't know that that was a thing, but it actually was. The the apps that we have today were not the apps that we had back then. But at that church, it was a really big thing. When they knew that a woman had had a baby, they would create a meal train for her. And we would feed people for a month or longer if they needed, depending on what was going on with them. And that is the way that we circled around one another and supported each other, which is really important, again, after you have a baby, that you are circled around, that people circle around you, and that they support you, and that you know that you're not alone. So I really appreciate that. So anytime that I hear about somebody having a baby, I make sure that I go in and I provide a meal. Now you can DoorDash or whatever, but I make sure that I do that, that I provide some kind of support for that mom because I know what that feels like and I know how lonely it can be. So I try to check on people and make sure that they know that I'm thinking about them and to see if they're okay and if they need anything. I think one of the other things that I'm really intentional about is not just asking, do you want anything? Because most of the time people are going to say, no, I don't need anything, I'm fine. So if I say, hey, I'm in the area, I want to stop by and bring you something, then they'll accept that. But people typically, we don't want anybody to go out of their way because we don't want to feel obligated or we don't want to feel like we owe them something. But if I'm in the area or if I'm thinking about you, let me send you something. Let me use a delivery service or let me cook something. Or, hey, I had extra. Let me run that over to you. Those are the things that really spoke to me when I was pregnant with each one of my kids, just the way that people were there to support me. And it was a major turning point for me to be able to learn how to serve and how to be there for other people in these situations. The loneliness, the recovery, just not knowing what to do as a first time parent. It was great for me to have people that were seasoned and that knew how to navigate and what to do, and that would help me out when I needed help. I have many friends that have kids, but as we were all having kids about the same time, we were all navigating and going through some of the same things, which again was helpful. So it was nice to have stay at home moms that understood what I was going through and that were supportive of that. So I just wanted to share that story with you. I'll talk about my other pregnancies as we go along because each one of them was different and I had different needs with each kid, and how people, the community, the church, my friends and family came together to support me on that. All right, y'all. Have a good day. Have a good evening. Bye.